Hello and welcome back, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, chat. Hello. Well, here we are again, Adobe Live, with the amazing Keshia White.
Yes, back for day 2.
Day 2. Here we go. My name's Alexis Bustos, and we are here to talk about XD and design some amazing screens.
Yes.
Stick around. In 30 minutes, we're going to do a chat to win for some cool Sticker Mule stickers. And then we'll have a creative challenge debrief. And I really am really excited to see some from yesterday that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, for
So,
yesterday's challenge.
Also, Adobe Live. You guys see this other things going on? Did you see the awesome Photoshop challenge and the XD challenge? Don't forget about that one. Brian Allen was doing some awesome Photoshop like manipulation, and then Keshia White right now. And make sure to tune in every week. Different guests, different hosts even. So let's get started. What are we doing today?
Yeah, so today we will be picking up where we left off yesterday. I created all these great wireframes here. And just for a quick recap, if you weren't here yesterday, this is for a meal delivery service, website and mobile app. So I created 3 screens for a website. So I'll just show, these are the 3 website screens. The first one is your home. The second one is the menu screen where you can select your order. And then this one would be like a checkout screen showing that the order is on the way. And then I also did a few for tablet, 3 for tablet as well, and 3 for mobile app. So this mobile app piece, it would be the same screens for both tablet and for the app. So for this first one, this is like the home page, I guess, for the tablet with a couple of calls to action to inspire them to cook, and a few other calls to action down, and then a recipes page for the tablet, and then a recipes detail here.
Awesome.
So yeah, so we will be filling all these blank spaces in, so we'll get rid of all the gray boxes.
Making it look pretty today.
Yes.
No more gray boxes. Although we do love gray boxes.
I know.
Don't get it wrong.
Yeah, they can be exciting. I'm just
Keshia, do you want to give a little background, kind of like who you are for some new people in the chat who maybe missed yesterday?
Yeah. So I am a website and brand designer. I have my own agency where I primarily work with service-based businesses to help with their brand strategy, brand design, and their website design. So that kind of sums it up a bit.
She's a boss lady.
Yeah, trying over here. Yeah. So it's been good. I've been full-time in my business for about a year now in my design business. So definitely been a fun year.
Awesome. So we're getting into the beautiful things. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you for saying hello as we get started on our merry way. Just want to do some shout-outs. Oh, Voodoo Val, Nor, Tima, Tim. I think I saw Colby. Shout out to Colby. What's up? He was on Adobe Live last week. Awesome people in the chat today. We also want to make sure we ask the chat about a name idea.
Oh, yes.
This is big. We need a name idea. Do you want to run through how we were thinking around the name?
Yeah. So with the fictional business that we have here, it's like a meal kit delivery service for millennials who are busy with work and commuting, but eating healthy is still a priority for them, and it's still important. So the purpose of the meal service, delivery service, it will be to deliver meals that they can cook that are fresh with healthy ingredients and that they can cook fast in like under 30 minutes. So I didn't name it yet. So I guess anything related to being fresh and fast and for millennials could be a good suggestion. So if you have a suggestion, feel free to share it with us here.
So we're thinking fresh, fast, healthy food. These are your keywords, you guys. So just get chatting around that name idea, and we'll come back to it towards the end.
Yeah. And we'll add a name up here in the corner here because this space was left blank to put a name there eventually.
Awesome.
So I guess to start with photos, I have a lot of photos saved already in a photography folder here. So for this top space, I wanted to do one with blank space for the words. So I'm going to use this one right here, I believe. And what I like about XD, I think you can select your rectangle where you want to drag the photo onto. And then I can literally just drag it and drop it right there. And then I'm probably going to do a little resizing a bit. Well, no, that's not it. Yeah, I may have to move this wireframe down some because I wanted to show more of the food in this space. So, yep, so you're going to see I might do some extra expansion as we go through all of these, really, to make sure I'm getting the right angles on the food to show just the right amount, because I don't want to cut the food off. That's the good part.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked yesterday about like how important the photographs are. Those photo assets that you include in your UI, and you know where to get them, and what are the best resources. Adobe Stock, we kind of settled on as one of the best.
Yeah, that one is nice.
One of the best for inclusive.
Exactly. Yeah, like different diverse images, and then just the quality is really strong too. Especially if you want a nice website that looks high quality as well. So that one, you have good options there. So yes, so we have a nice photo here, and all I just expanded you can expand your screen here in Adobe XD, so it's not like set in stone. So if you wireframe it here like I just did and you leave the space too small, you can easily expand down and give yourself a little more. I want to give it even more because we have some food here, food dishes there that look healthy. And then I'm going to move this button over. And I want to give them a little tagline since it's a business. So let me take the border off. Make this black.
I made sure to eat before coming to the studio because I knew we were going to see a lot of food photos. I hope everyone has a snack on them because it's only going to get more delicious looking from here on out.
It will. So I'm going to give it a little tagline. I don't know, my copywriting is okay, but not that great. But a tagline is always good for your either tagline or some value statement or something for this top banner space for your home page, because it gives the customers, or excuse me, potential customers, I guess, something to see, or I guess some incentive to explore more. So, I think I put fresh ingredients, fast meals. I think I'll do it. Oops.
We spoke a little yesterday about, the importance of blocking out these areas and like setting it up with a goal. So each one of these different sections of the website, the way Keshia's kind of like thought it through is there's a goal. There's a goal for each section. So this first one initially this goal is to get someone to just order immediately, order fast.
Yeah.
And it's a really great way to kind of start wireframing, just like sketch out not just what they look like, but what your intentions are for each space.
Exactly. So that way you can know, I guess, kind of like what's the most important. A lot of times I'll rank stuff too from what is the most important for the client, like what they really want people to do, and down to the least. So I know this is like the biggest one, so that's why it's on here multiple times, and then it's also the first thing as well.
Right.
So we have fresh ingredients, fast meals there, and I kind of like to.
That's great copy.
Accent some of the word. Oh, thanks. I'm like trying. Well, I wanted to accent the F. Oops.
It's hard to write good copy, you guys.
I know.
It is like, it's a talent. So if you get even close, good on you.
Well, thank you. Wait, I didn't want to accent the whole thing. Well, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just let it stay like that, I guess. And then, so for why our meal kits, so I'm gonna show, for this I had some little graphics in mind, so I'll show how I make those. Typically make those like in Photoshop first. So for why our meal kits, move that up a bit. So, wait, what was I gonna do for the background? Okay, so I wanted this to be white space. I'm gonna change the fill to white for this. Oops. Okay, and then I want to make the graphics really quick. So I had a few made up in the Photoshop. Let me open them. Where you can kind of layer your. This will probably take a second to open, but pretty much I'll be making graphics like these here. But I want to save it as one image because right now these are like separated pieces. I didn't save them as an image, but anyway.
Got it. Okay.
So you can kind of layer. So all I did to make this, it was Photoshop always opens slow, so that's why.
Oh yeah.
So
maybe you can talk us through kind of like the general brand look and feel you're going for, because I don't think we got to talk too much. We got a sneak peek yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So the look and feel we wanted, since it was targeted for more so millennials and who are concerned about food being healthy. So I wanted to go for like a really fresh and like vibrant and fun look and feel for the brand. So that's how we ended up with like a nice light blue. To me, this blue is almost like a blue-green family blue, because green is a nice fresh color. Blue feels nice and fresh and youthful as well. And then yellow is a really cheerful color and joyful color, so I definitely wanted to include that. And then green as well, which represents freshness too. And I was trying to keep the colors gender neutral. I know I do have images of girls here, but I didn't want to go too feminine or too masculine on either way for the colors. So these felt like good colors that could be versatile for like whether guys were looking at the kids or girls.
Right.
You know, a bunch of pink or red everywhere. So
right, not the gendered color scheme. I got it.
So yeah, so that's how we kind of came up here, and this is where I originally just put a few branding elements together for inspiration over here in Photoshop. So what I want to do is show how I make if I can make a new one. Oh, this may still be loading. Okay, we're gonna do new.
Seamless Photoshop to XD integration, people. I'm using all of it.
Yes. So this is a good way to make your little graphics that you put into your design. Pretty much all of my graphics that go into my designs, I make in Photoshop, even designing like when I get online and Squarespace and all that soon. So yeah, any of those little things with like a little monogram letter on it, or
Right.
outlines around your photos or overlays and just all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's actually part of the creative, the daily challenge today is to try like creating your own icons in Illustrator and bringing them over into XD. You know, in what ways can you kind of push the boundaries of how to use all these Adobe products together? You definitely have Adobe stock in yours.
Yeah, there's so many possibilities with all of them.
So many.
So what I'll do, typically what I do for stuff like this, so I can have them all the same size, I'll start with a rectangle first, or excuse me, a square first. And then for the first one, I'll just do that. And then I want a picture, I forgot what 3. I'll do the one of the girl cooking first.
Have you ever tried one of these services?
I have. I love HelloFresh. It's like my happy day.
Excellent.
If I know my kid is coming that day.
Yeah?
I'm like a kid, like looking for the UPS guy. I'm like, is he here yet?
Like, where's my food?
Like, it better not be at the wrong
Is that
apartment.
one that you can cook with? Is that HelloFresh one you can cook with?
So they send you like all the ingredients prepped already. Because they really are pretty fast too. Because I'm like usually still working in the evenings when normal people are cooking dinner. I'm still working. So so I like those. I can like break from work really quick and then go in and whip up a meal with maybe like just one pan maybe getting dirty. So I can still cook and keep working.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ooh.
So all I did there, I like drug the picture over the rectangle and created a clipping mask on it, because I like doing that so you can kind of also show the part of the picture that you really want to show, because you may not necessarily care about the top for a website like this. So that's that part. And then I want to make kind of like that little square piece behind it. So I will select the color. I guess we'll start with blue.
I love that. That's a good look.
Yeah, thanks.
I think I'd frame that. That cabbage.
Yeah, it looks good. That nice, vibrant color.
Everyone in the chat, are you guys at home chefs? Are you orderers? Do you order food a lot? What do you guys do for food? You think you'd use a service like this? According to the research, a lot of millennials actually would.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they do make it easy, because then I find when I don't order, I'm like, yeah, I'm saving money, but then I'm really not, because then I end up doing the other worst of DoorDash.
Yep.
And I feel like I definitely spend more on DoorDash than with these boxes, so I probably need one when I get back from this.
Yeah. Man, cooking. It's so labor intensive, right? So it's just nice when it's like all there, ready for you, or pre-cooked. But man, cooking, you get all zen about it. I like to put on a podcast.
Oh, yeah, I love doing that too sometimes. Either that or some music.
Oh, yeah.
As you're in the kitchen, get your wine as you come.
Do you listen to any, like, design podcasts?
Do I? Not necessarily. I'm more so listen to, like, that YouTube channel, The Future I was talking about, where it's kind of like they talk about the business of design a lot, but not just straight design pod. That sounds interesting, though. Yeah, I should check those out.
There's a couple out there. Do you guys have, any recommendations on design podcasts that maybe you can listen to while you're cooking or waiting for that Hello Fresh meal to arrive? Would love to hear about some. I got a couple, so shout some out if I don't see them. Oh, here's a great question. How do you combat on-the-job training with UX and UI? She came from a boot camp and felt like they didn't know enough.
Yeah, I did consider one of those and I did a General Assembly class too, actually, in addition to that certificate. But I do feel like I had to just learn a lot as I went along. That's true, because they teach you the basics, but most of design, I feel like you learn the more projects you do,
right?
Unfortunately, but it's still. To me, it's like clients don't necessarily know that you're still learning,
Yeah.
So because you have to do the research a lot of times as you're working on something with someone. And then behind the scenes, you're learning something new, and then they see the finished product. So, yeah, you just have to kind of wing it and act confident to me. And just continue learning as you go along, because it's constant learning.
Yeah, we're constantly learning. I mean, new tools are constantly coming out, new ideas, new trends are always coming out, so you never get to kind of sit back and be like, I'm a designer and I know. No, I think it's always a constant learning opportunity.
And sometimes people ask for different features that you may not have done before, or they want you to design something different from what you usually design maybe, and you're having to learn with that too.
This is looking pretty good. So if you guys are just joining us, we're creating some assets for the meal delivery service. Meal delivery or meal kit?
I guess it could be either one. Yeah, I guess delivery, because they deliver them.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and then you pretty much have all the ingredients, and then you can just put it together. But
right. So Keshia's creating some assets to bring over into XD after, but she's using Photoshop. Sometimes you can use Illustrator. It's all right. It's all good. Sometimes you need that nuance, with the tool that you're familiar with.
Yeah, this is the one I use the most. I use Illustrator sometimes just for, like, if I'm making a PDF design for a client, like for their opt-in incentive. So like their workbook or media kit design. I've used it for their PowerPoint slide design, like people who wanted to get slides. Branded slides to match the branding I made for them. But I mostly use this one the most. So I think this will be our fresh image here.
Let's see. I have some podcast recs. Method podcast, haven't checked out. I gotta check out. And then the Future. Future was also recommended.
Yeah, the Future. Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Nice. Great, guys.
Because they
all listen to the same things.
Yeah.
I recommend, plug for Adobe again, the Wireframe podcast. If y'all are into talking about design, talking about not necessarily just XD, just design as a overall, its impact on society, different ways people have done it and used it. It's a great podcast. Check it out.
Yeah, I have to check that one out for sure. So now we have our few images, and then like I did them with that clipping mask, so they'll all be the same exact size coming in here, so they won't be like weird different shapes and sizes. I hate when I see that with some people just put them in there and don't size them all properly. So for our fresh, wait, we don't want all three. I guess I should unlink these. Oh yeah, because I guess with repeat grid, you can ungroup them once you do get the grid in place, I guess. So I just ungrouped it. So hopefully if I put the second picture, right.
Rita asks, where will this work be posted?
Will it be
Behance,
posted?
probably.
Yeah, I'll put it up there on Behance so you guys can check it out. And then it's kind of will be a cool template to start with as well.
Absolutely. If you're looking for more templates to start with, speaking of, I'm going to give you another plug for your UI kit.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to jump over to my screen. Keshia's got a UI kit out, you guys. It's free. Check it out. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's like your style of very like open space and some beautiful, beautiful imagery. She's got everything out here for you guys if you want to, work along with her.
Yeah, a lot of nice white space.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And this one's, the theme is all around like Women's History Month, and it's awesome. It's an awesome UI kit. It's totally, I opened it up and I was like, there is so much in here. Like, you could really get started on some cool projects with some help from your guru from afar. Your guru from Atlanta.
Yeah, from Atlanta. Yep. Yeah, that was a fun kit for sure because it was a lot of pieces involved.
Oh yes, and it's got some great actual like prototyping as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so clean. I love it.
Oh yeah, I had to teach myself that. I'm like, that was an example of like teaching yourself new stuff because I was like, yeah, I don't know how to do that, but
it's a great UI
but
kit,
it was,
guys.
I learned, yeah. Always learn as you go along.
Yep, exactly. So a lot about like, let's talk about learning on the job.
Mm-hmm. I literally did it to make that.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're just starting out, what are some other tips for someone just starting out?
So for just starting out, I would say just definitely like don't be afraid to just say yes to something, to at least try it, because there probably will be things maybe that you do say yes to that you don't like and you're like, I'm never doing that again.
Right.
I've done that. So I feel like that's how you figure out what aspects of design you do and don't like, just by starting and just saying yes to stuff, and don't get stuck in that preparation stage too much where you feel like you have to keep learning and you're not an expert yet. It's like you probably know enough to get started. You know enough more than the average person, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Plugs to get started. Try doing a creative challenge. Just do them week to week. It's just will just get your mind flowing, your ideas going. And get you working, right?
Yeah,
it's just so important to say yes and to start making things.
Just to
start thinking with your hands. Start sketching.
To get your feet wet, because that's how you learn, and don't be afraid about the learning piece.
Valentina loves these colors that you're using.
Oh, good. Yay, thank you. I'm trying to see how I want to. Oh yeah, I remember. I'll stretch this out a little bit. I don't want it to get too busy. So for this, I wanted like that nice food on white space here. And then I'm trying to leave enough space so for the words, because I don't like it to get too cluttered around words. And I kind of want these headings bigger too, actually. Now that I have the pictures in there. Yeah, I like that better. So I'll make that 60. So yeah, so we kind of have these. They almost flow together a bit. But you have your first section kind of selling your benefits here: healthy, fresh, healthy, fast. And then if this were a real company, I maybe would elaborate a bit under there with like some extra copy like under here. And then we have our how it works section there. And I think I'll change this. I don't like that one word under there. Anybody else like with those lag words, if you just have a line with just one word?
Oh yeah, what are those called? They're like,
I don't know.
When it's just like that one extra, what is it called? Like a child, it's called like
I think so, something like that. I like.
What is that called? What's that called when you have like one word come down from a paragraph and it just like ruins the whole look of your text?
So I like just kind of change that really quick. I forgot what it was called too. I just recognize it when I see them now.
So it doesn't look good. Orphan. That's it.
Oh
that's
yeah, orphan.
It.
Yeah,
I was like,
it.
child.
Yeah, you were close.
Child,
orphan and child. It's all down there by itself. All.
Regardless of what it's called, it's you know it when you see it. Thank you, chat.
This down a little bit. Okay. So that's pretty okay. And then I'm gonna pull this in a little bit now that I know how much spacing I needed and didn't need. And then for our last section here, I was thinking maybe a light color background. So I have my asset colors saved over here. So for this, I'll probably just click that. that enough? Let's see. I didn't fully plan this part.
I always have trouble with this, like this kind of adding this one little extra last piece of the page. Like maybe one thing would make it a little bit too much, and then but you want something there, but you don't want it white.
Yeah, because I kind of want this more gray. I feel like I'm gonna have to maybe use a gray that's not in the color palette.
Oh my gosh,
The original color palette, but it's not too far off. Yeah, I like the gray better, just a little gray, because I'm trying to keep it. So here's a little bit why I'm keeping it more so black and white too.
Yeah.
Because I have little subtleties with the colors peeking out with all the food. So I really want the food to be the focus, and the design to not be so overwhelming with everything. So yeah, so we kind of have nice clean looking at the food. And I kind of want these to be a bit bigger now that I see how they are in here. How can I do that?
Wow, I love those the photos you used.
Oh, thank you.
Like together, because you were putting them together like separately, so I couldn't see them next to each other, and they look really great.
Oh, thank you.
I'd frame that cabbage photo.
Yeah, I know that one came out pretty.
So really highlighting the images, and that's what keeping like a neutral color palette will help do.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely your style.
Yeah. Okay, nice and clean.
Awesome.
I'm gonna make these bigger. I forgot how to use. It's like giving me the repeat grid every time I try to make them bigger.
Is repeat grid on?
I'm like, I don't need that many. I just want to make it larger. Resizing has as you resize pink lines. I don't know what the pink lines are.
Yeah, I know. Is it on? Is repeat grid on?
I don't know. Repeat grid. I think that's on,
interesting.
And then that ungroups it.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
Opacity marker. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be bigger, but.
Huh.
Yeah.
A glitch? Interesting predicament.
I know. I want it to. Oh, maybe like that if I ungroup it.
Oh, maybe the actual image itself and not the...
Yeah,
there you go.
Okay. I'm like, it had to be something.
We got it, guys. We got it.
We fixed it. So now ungroup that.
So while you're ungrouping, I'll set a little reminder. We're at almost at a minute till chat and win for some awesome Sticker Mule stickers. 100 to be exact. And I hear you get a little bit more when you order them.
Yeah, that sounds like that'll last you for a long time.
Yeah.
With all those stickers.
So maybe one of your face, maybe one of like your favorite food.
Okay.
Maybe your brand, your logo.
So many possibilities with them.
Yeah.
With those. Yay. Okay, perfect. So we got our main page done here.
Wow.
So that's fresh ingredients, fast meals, order now, wire kids. And we got our accent fonts here. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing I was going to do. So I wanted to put these little, from my assets, these little vegetable things in here around there and make them kind of small. So they're going to be pretty subtle.
Oh, I love it.
So just to show like, because I don't do a ton. I know you were asking me, do I use illustrations? So I don't do a ton of them, but for something like this, it seemed kind of fun to add in for a different effect.
I love it.
So I want them to be kind of tiny, so it'll be not that tiny. I'm like, wait, what is this?
Smallest radish I've ever seen.
I know. Little mini radishes. And then maybe a little artichoke.
Yeah, because your style definitely is more real, like photos, images that are actual like images and not illustrations.
Yeah.
So what kind of got you in the headspace around this? Oh, chat and win. Oh my gosh, chat and win countdown. You guys. You guys.
Time for the stickers.
Yeah. Chat, win. We'll be right back. Hi guys. Keep chatting. What in the world? Hello. Chatting with. You know, I really wanted to ask you guys what your favorite type of food was.
Oh yeah, that would be
I'm
interesting.
I'm just loving Thai food right now.
Oh yeah, Thai is good.
And like there's all this like you're kind of like having like a Southwest vibe with all the food you're using. Yeah. So what's your favorite type of food that you're eating right now? What's like what are you craving? Pizza. Pizza's always a good one. Yeah. Keep chatting. You're doing great. Stickers. Come on, guys. Stickers. Oh my gosh, everyone's so hungry. I love it. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime in San Francisco.
Lunchtime,
We're out of. There we go. Veggies, peaches, chips and salsa. I love that.
Yeah, chips and salsa is good.
Oh, here we go.
Tex-Mex
Congratulations,
chips.
Rita. Congrats. Doing 100
Yay.
free
Oh my
Sticker
God.
Mule stickers.
Wow, oh my gosh.
They are awesome. They're super durable. They're on laptops and water bottles everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be
And
cute.
everyone in the chat, you've also won. All right, with Adobe Live 19, we have I think it's 10 stickers for $1. And that's pretty great. So everyone go get some stickers. Throw them up on your laptop. Throw them on your water bottle. Good job, you guys.
Decorate all the things.
Ooh, anything with zucchini. Oh, zucchini right now is
Oh yeah,
is
zucchini
great.
is good. Yeah. Okay, I'm about done with these with my sizing here. So they're just kind of subtle. I'm gonna see if the spacing makes sense. So yeah, so I guess these are good just to kind of decorate a bit. And then the last thing, I might stretch this down a little bit more so it's not too much going on because I can't do. Right. This is part of my process too. Like a lot of times when I design, I'm like sizing and resizing things, trying to see like, does this make sense? Especially when I'm doing a client site too, it like has to be feel right, I guess, when you're putting stuff on the page, you know?
Yeah, we talked
So
a little
that
bit about like when you present to clients kind of and having to what you say to them if to kind of to make sure they understand where you're coming from with your designs and how important that is to be able to like back it up. So you were talking about colors, be able to describe that, and you want to talk a little bit about like presenting to a client even, and like what's your process there, because we're getting closer, right now we're like filling out these awesome wireframes. So what are you thinking about during that
So
time?
usually during those, I make a little PowerPoint that I do for them, and then I'll typically the first thing I do, because the mood board is typically my first thing to show the direction of the project visually. So when I present, most of the time I'll start with the mood board to just remind them, be like, okay, this is our visual direction that we came up with, and it means this, and it's representing this, that kind of thing. And so when we start there, then I'll go into the logos, if it's a logo presentation, or if it's the brand book or brand guidelines, then I just kind of go through the brand guidelines on screen. I'm trying to think of what else. Yeah, mainly this.
So when a lot of your clients are looking at it, they're like, they already know, they've already understood, they've already laid it out for them. You worked out these ideas with them.
Yeah.
And so that conversation is going on throughout, even before you hit final designs.
It is. So yeah, because it really, like I said, starting with my strategy sessions to me helps me to really cut down on revisions a lot. So that way I'm not like just designing something out of nowhere. They understand like this is how we came up with this design and we collaborated together on this, and I'm not just pulling something out of the air, because I feel like I get more, like I said, through a strategy session than I could through the questionnaires I used to do. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, if anybody wants a crash course in kind of business / design strategy / kind of brand incorporating into designs, watch Keshia's live stream yesterday. We talked a lot about it. Don't leave yet though. Stay here with us. She's still gonna drop some knowledge, continuously drop some knowledge in this live streams. But But you're really doing it all. She's really doing it all, people.
Yeah, it makes it go smoother, a lot smoother. And then as a freelancer, if you're thinking about freelancing, I guess a tip if you're starting out too as a freelancer, I recommend learning more about brand strategy now, so you don't make yourself into a commodity, because then people are looking at Fiverr and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, well, what's the difference between what you can do and what they do for $10 on Fiverr, and I'm like, what? So
Brand strategy.
there's a big difference. Yeah. So when you can have some strategy knowledge to bring to the table, and you can talk about how it'll impact their business, then you're a lot more valuable than just somebody that's gonna just go make a purple logo and with no context behind it. You just do it because they tell you to do it. Not being an order taker, I guess, as a designer.
Ooh. Don't be an order taker, guys.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I wish I could like write down all of your quotes you said.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen. I forget who. I feel like I maybe heard that on that Future channel, and I heard a few other design people say that too. Because you feel like that sometimes, where people are like, I just think I want it purple, and then they come back tomorrow like, I think I want it orange.
And you're like,
then they come back in a few days and like, I think I want it green. I'm like, okay, now.
You're like, you can't have it.
Calm down. Yeah, it's like you don't even know what you want.
So it's more about, so Keshia's background, your background a little bit, you came from sales, and so you're approaching design. She's come into the field of design with all of this like knowledge around the bottom line and what are you trying to achieve with your business.
Yeah.
And so everybody, seriously, write this stuff down.
Yeah, that part is big. If you want to design as a actual business, if you're just kind of designing as a hobby, then maybe all this stuff doesn't matter, but if you really do want to make a business out of it and make an income to not struggle financially, to be able to really support yourself and be comfortable, you have to learn the business application of it too, so you can be comfortable and enjoy the client work a little bit more. It makes it more pleasant.
Leave more space to design.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, like, enjoy it.
Yeah, because it definitely helps. Because honestly, going more in depth in my process, I ended up doing a price increase. So by doing it, I can still make a good amount of money, but not take on so many clients. So I feel like I can take my time with my clients a lot better and give them more one-on-one attention, do more research for them. So it's like you really give yourself space and time to do better design, like you said.
This is all the information you need to know when you're trying to do freelance and you're trying to kind of do it on your own, which I know a lot of designers are doing, and I'm probably a lot watching right now. I think we've all had a stint or tried to do a freelance mode. Some can do it, some can't. Some have strategies. Some are building out an entire business model around it. So
yeah,
this is great. There's so many different ways to approach this stuff.
Even just as a side hustle to get some extra money to pay your car note.
Right. It's about knowing your worth.
After your day job or something.
Yeah. It's about knowing your worth as a creative, right? Like, essentially.
I don't even know what kind of thing. Most of these stock images, I don't really know what the food is.
It looks like a ciabatta. Ciabatta bread.
I was like, these have white space and green, something like that. That'll work. So I'm just looking for
white
something.
Space, yes.
Yeah.
Delicious. White void where that
enough.
food is. You know what I mean? Like where is that sandwich right now?
Yeah, I don't know. I know, that's how I used to do, because, I had a little bit of food blogging when I was blogging when I started online, and I would try to put this white paper on my floor and take the pictures to make it look, but I'm like, who has a white kitchen like this, though, in real life?
No one eats in a white void. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But where is this? It's definitely helping, though, with the site.
I'm just like kind of moving this around from corner to corner to make it just a little more interest. What other items? I'll try this
Rita, who on our chat and win, is telling us she's doing some freelance work, but clients don't pay. But you're getting experience. Okay, so there's a little bit of a conversation there around picking up work as much as you can. But at some point,
you want to start
charging.
Yeah, you have
and
to.
This is the woman to talk to about that.
Yeah, because I did do free when I first started. So like when I took that certificate, I was in this certificate program, and we had to design for someone and do a mock design project. So I had a lady who I designed for. This was before our new strategy. It was horrible because the lady, I was like, I'm kind of had this more white space like style, and she was doing a travel site, and she had a really old, like dated, extremely dated looking travel site, and the pictures didn't match. The pictures were just not reflecting the kind of people that she was going after for her travel services. And it wasn't mobile friendly. It was just so many problems. So I had something that was
her style clashed with yours. It sounds like
it sounded like, because I didn't really know what her style. I was just trying to thinking more up to date now. Like if you're doing something now for 20, it looked like it was just older. It was like a dark burgundy maroon, like really dark. So I was like, if you want people to go on these beautiful trips with you, you want to showcase beautiful travel photography.
Yeah, it's hard to incorporate dark maroon into
with travel. So I was just kind of like trying to leave space for nice photos, you know. But then she ended up being like, I think I like the maroon. I'm like, girl, I'm like,
so she didn't even end up taking your designs.
I don't think so. Then popped up later, years later, asking for help. I guess she thought I was still doing it for free years later. And I'm like, I'm doing it as a business now, so that ship is gone.
See, that's the risk you run into with not, you know, knowing your worth as a designer and what you're offering these people. You know, it gives them, you know, charging's important. It shows like you know what you're worth, you know what your skills are, and people will maybe take your design. Maybe if you charge her even a little bit, she would have maybe like been okay. I've invested money in Keshia. I'm gonna take her design.
Yeah, because that was just because I was in that class. But then after that class, I don't think I did that anymore. I was like, I'm at least gonna charge $500 if I don't charge anything. Oh yeah, I did do one other girls for free. She was cool though.
It's a normal thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing to, you know, to get your feet wet for sure.
Yeah,
it's a good option, especially because it's somebody's work and you can get real feedback.
But just don't stay there too long.
Don't stay there too long. There you go. Not too long, for sure.
Yeah, and get a few portfolio examples because it helped me get a few in my portfolio. Because I think I ended up doing 3 for free actually when I did it. And then one guy gave me $100 and I went home. I was like, oh, I got $100 for designing this.
I love it.
I took a picture of the check and everything.
It's so fun when it's like what you want to be doing and then you get paid for it. And you're like, oh my God, you can do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I still had my day job.
That's a feeling that everyone's going to have in this chat, especially even the ones that are doing stuff for free still.
Yeah, it's like you'll get there. Just get a few after you get those first 2 or 3, then put those in your portfolio and you're like, here's my work. So here's what it costs.
Just keep practicing. Let's see. Internships, talking about good web and UX UI jobs. Entry when you start. Internships, that's the route a lot of people take.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Especially, I was just old, so.
It gives you an option to kind of try things out. I think people are, you know, opening up more internships for UX and UI positions. And, you know, it's not, you don't have to do them for too long, you know, so you can really just try a space, try a different, you know, maybe this company's doing an idea that's new to you.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way.
Yep, internships, they exist. They're around. But if not, you know, like what were we saying earlier? You know, like free. It's not about just working for free. It's about just finding work to do to get into your portfolio, right? More than anything else. So maybe there's a company nearby. Maybe there's like a mom and pop like restaurant nearby that needs a website revamp.
Yeah. There's usually people you know,
or like in a nonprofit you know that maybe you're like, I can maybe make them look really good. It's a good way to get started.
It is, yeah, because I got started with like people I knew just kind of asking for help sometimes with stuff after they saw my blog and how it looked. They were like, oh, she looks like she kind of knows what she's doing. So they would ask me to help with their blogs or their websites and logos, and
it builds up.
Yeah.
Knowledge builds. Yeah, but thanks for talking about all this this idea, this freelance and interns and getting started, you know, or everyone has different paths of how they get places. But this is, you have Exhibit A if it can happen. You can do it. You can quit the corporate job and be a designer.
You definitely can. Because I guess for a little more on my corporate story, I kept trying to make a job switch, but everywhere I interviewed, they were just like, oh, you have sales on your resume. So even if I had other outside experience of stuff that I was doing on my own, they didn't care.
Oh, I see.
So that's how I ended up just like, I'm tired of begging for, you know, you feel like you're begging after a few, because I was in my 20s, like almost 10 years trying to get out of sales.
Right, it's like like, what can I do to work here? I need experience. How do I get experience? You gotta work.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So I was like, I'll just do my own thing. So
sales turned designer.
Yeah, it ended up kind of almost being easier to, why do these keep grouping like this? but almost being easier to just do it myself than to keep going down the rabbit hole of job searching with me.
Absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
So we're on the ordering page, it looks like.
Yep, so I'm filling all the menu items. I'm about to make up some menu food names for whatever this stuff is. These food items.
Yeah.
So.
Chad, if you could help us figure out what each of these food items are, it'd be great if we ever get stumped. That looks like cauliflower.
Yeah. With some, what's that red, like cranberries maybe?
So maybe those almonds.
Pomegranates? I don't know.
Fall salad mix. Cauliflower salad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a salad. What's this? This is the suspicious looking meat.
Chicken in a white void.
Yeah.
Just kidding. In terms of creative copy, mine just gets silly.
I would like to say ciabatta, but I can't spell that.
Yeah, it's maybe
How do
too
you
long.
spell that word? Oh. Chicken sandwich.
Chicken sando. Yeah.
I feel like these companies, they try to make their stuff sound all fancy, so saying sandwiches.
It's just a sandwich
Yeah.
by any other name. Speaking of names, we still need a name for this service. Food delivery. So if anybody has ideas about names, names for the food delivery service, we're probably not going to talk about them until towards the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any names? So somebody asked. Tell us how you made this switch.
How you finally made the switch.
So how I finally, it's a really long story, but
What was that moment? What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, well, I guess it really had been building up for years, really, because I never really liked sales for real. I was trying to get a marketing job, but I couldn't get hired in marketing. So I just ended up taking a sales job in my early 20s and then did that for years and just kind of bounced around because all the sales jobs I got were kind of unstable. In one company, they were doing layoffs, and that was when I started blogging, and then I discovered that and discovered web design and got the evening class, and I was like, oh, this would be a cool way to have a virtual business someday. And I never knew what day it would be, but I just was thinking someday because I was still maybe mid-20s then. So that class was like a August to May class, and then I felt like I still wasn't ready. I was kind of like in the place where I'm sure a lot of people here may be like, oh, I'm still not ready yet. So then the year after that, I did another visual design thing at General Assembly that was like a 2-month, 8-week thing. So I feel like that one, it really did help, though, with my visual design aspect. And then after that, kind of started doing, I did a couple more free projects, and then was trying to slowly charge people. And then, yeah, it was kind of slowly building up. But then one other job, they wanted me to leave, and I wanted to leave too. So
there you go. Sometimes you just need that push.
Yeah, so then that's what pushed me to the software sales company that I was at. So then I did that year in software sales. So honestly, when I was there, I didn't do anything on the side at all. I was just trying to keep up with quota the whole time because it was really crazy. It was like a company that wanted to go public, so they wanted us to sell a lot.
So it was this slow crawl.
Yeah, and then saved up money.
But you knew early.
Yeah, I did. And then really that saving up the money from that job is really what helped me, honest, because I didn't just jump out there with no money saved and like,
that's a good tip.
Let's do it. So
that's a good tip for anybody making that jump.
Yeah.
A little cushion helps.
Yeah. So if you do end up in sales, just know if you can sell enough stuff and get good commission checks, it'll give you a cushion to transition. Which is
maybe not even design. Maybe you're doing something else.
Yeah. You can just design at night and stack those commission checks.
There you go.
And then once anything happens, you can make your escape. Because I was purposely saving when I was in that job because I was like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. But if I want to try something else, I want to give myself room because I never had saved before in my other jobs. So, because a lot of people just make these jumps. I don't know how they do it. Maybe they're married because I'm single. I'm not married, so I don't have like other income.
Yeah, I think we just hear the story of like I just did it one day when it's really always just a slow crawl. You know, there's a realization you had, but then there was years of planning to do freelance and to like have your own business essentially.
It was, yeah.
So there's no magical moment for anything. Right?
It's not.
You don't just become a good designer overnight.
Yeah.
You don't just like all of a sudden get to fly around the world designing things.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time, but we're all here. We're all here for each other.
And the biggest thing is just to keep working on it, because that's the top thing. I almost had stopped, like I said, myself when I was in that software job, because it was so crazy. But I literally, once I decided to quit with that money saved, I was like, I'm gonna like go as hard as I can on this, and I picked back up where I left off kind of before that year, and then just went and just was working and marketing myself like crazy. Marketing yourself is really, really big too. So people know, because a lot of designers, they hide behind their work sometimes to me when it comes to social media, which I guess depending on how you position your business, it could work.
Interesting. Talk more about that.
Yeah, because I feel like even sometimes with people, they end up kind of following me for years or months, they end up kind of wanting to work with you because they like you.
This is a great note.
Yeah,
this is a great note,
so you
chat.
don't want to always just hide behind your work on social media. So, yeah, and people like hearing my story, too.
Yeah, your work's important, but people want to work with you.
Yeah, like a real person, because then you kind of humanize yourself a bit instead of them going on a page and they're seeing graphic design everywhere. It's like, we get it, you can design, but
oh my gosh, I'm
who's
living
making
for this. I'm living for this.
Yeah.
This is what we need to hear. Absolutely.
Oh, and then I just thought about one more thing, even with your client stuff too, because I hate when people, if they put something up about a client, I'm gonna delete. I don't think I need that one, but if they put it up, talk about why you designed it in your post about it, because when people just post a logo with just no caption, or just like, okay, that's cute, but
explain your process.
what are we doing with this? Yeah, or like, what's it for? Yeah, what's the business? Because a lot of people just post the logo, but it's like, I don't know what business you created this for. Like, what does the business sell? How did the logo match their business type? So I try to do a little bit of that too, like on my social post.
I feel like that's a good note, and a really big note to take is no matter what you're designing, remember what the end result is. And I feel like that's definitely your approach, right? Because you do have this background, but you're watching her design right now, like everything she includes is very specific to what the goal is for that section, but then overall, what is the bottom line for this even imaginary company? And you showed us the kind of like your case study of who these people are last live stream. You guys can like check that out. She had everything from age demographic to even like income. What can who are you designing for? What can they access? And just keeping that in mind as you design. It's definitely coming across. And it'll come across in your work if you include stuff like that as well.
Because then when you get on the phone with clients, a lot of times they want to be like, well, it depends on who the person is, but you can always sound better when you have another example of like, I did this for XYZ business too, and they were kind of doing something similar as you, and I produced this for them. So being able to show examples, people feel comfortable when they can look at that kind of stuff, and being able to send case studies if you have them. I know my mouse pad is loud.
Ooh,
big computer.
She's reading it. She's reading
it's like clunky.
So where are we now on the service?
So we filled in our menu page here, and I made this one, I guess, to show selections, but I think I'm gonna skip that. I don't think I need it. I'm gonna delete that. And then I'm gonna move over to, this is our checkout screen. So this would be like once the meals are selected, once you click select meals, then they can check out and then see a recap of what they ordered. So I was just gonna put the pumpkin soup on there, and I guess a chicken salad or something. I just picked a few really quick.
I mean, Keshia made all those assets in Photoshop and just has that file right there, dragging it over.
Chicken
salad.
Font have hidden. Oh yeah, I don't know if they're asking why is the font have hidden. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't notice that too.
Yeah, because that just, when I got back in XD, it was just doing that when I was typing for some reason. I don't know what this thing is. At least it.
Yeah, it's like on all the. Let's see.
I'm gonna take the border off.
Interesting.
Yeah, as long as I spell the words right is my
Oh, yes. Another
Even
thing
though I can't see the
about copy, really important, you guys. Too often, do I see a misspelling on people's portfolios or a project. So always, always, always spell check.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that.
Do you have any tips on reading over your copy and making sure it's fresh and clean?
Yeah, I feel like, because sometimes I feel like if you've been designing something for a while, your eyes get kind of tired, and it's easy to see misspellings, because it's like if I'm typing something where I'm tired, like especially to my email list, I'll put those off to like 11 p.m. and I'm like, wait, I need to send an email tomorrow. And then I'm typing it all tired. So I recommend maybe looking at it again the next day, giving yourself an extra day to look at it on fresh eyes to make sure, because if you... all of us can make typos when we're tired. It's a long day and something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fresh eyes. So give yourself some time. Walk away after you write something, anything. Come back and look at it.
Yeah. Just give it a second.
I wonder if there's a plugin yet for spelling, or like checking your spelling. I use Grammarly for emails.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah.
That's great. That's helpful.
Yeah, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
She said sometimes she has to read over it 4 or 5
times.
Me too, yeah.
It's hard. Sometimes, I remember in school when we were writing, to check for spelling, my teacher would tell me to read the sentence backwards so I could read each word individually. So I knew if it was spelled right. I don't know if I think I kind of, and I still kind of do it now when I do my copy. I'll be like, food, the, share. Yes, those are words.
Yeah, make sure.
Not only do they make sense, but they're also spelled right.
Yeah.
But I have not seen a single typo. I'm just
good. I like it happens sometimes with some of my, like I said, those, I feel like mostly for me and my emails, my marketing emails to my list, which is probably a bad place to do it, but it happens. So I kind of want to make this a color, but I don't want to make it full color. To me, it's kind of like overpowering a bit.
Yeah.
The full color.
Yeah.
Let me kind of take that down a little bit. Yeah, maybe about there. I don't know. This could be more exciting, but I'll just keep it simple for now.
I think it's very exciting. Look at all that food.
Yeah, oh good.
Kristen says green equals food.
Yay.
Green equals.
It does. Yeah, green is a good one for food and anything that you want to symbolize fresh with. Yeah. So I'm going to save it really quick. Or did I just save it?
Seal Johnson says, write as little as possible, lol. Yeah. Or just, leave the copyright into the prose.
Yeah.
So, they have, a lot of companies have people who are just writers.
Yeah, because that's what eventually I want to get, like the types of clients that have a budget for copywriters. Because, they do so well. Because one wrote some copy for me for an ad I was running. She was so good. She was using all these words. I'm like, lexicon. Like, what's lexicon? I'm like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know, but it makes me sound smart, so I'm going to go with it. But anyway, but they're good.
Oh, my God, your words, yes.
Yeah, I'm like, they're worth the investment if you can get a client that can have the budget for you and the copywriter.
UX. It's UX design. It's making sure your words make sense as well. But if there's someone who can do it better than you, just like those images, just like these photographs, it's you're not gonna go out and take a photo of sandwiches in a white void. Sometimes someone's already done it for you.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, photographers. I love a good photographer. They're so helpful. Wait, I'm gonna pull my assets back out. I kind of want to make these greens match if I'm gonna.
That's a good point, Kristen. As a designer, at least write the micro copy. Absolutely. I think it's inevitable designers are going to actually write the copy in. But it's hard to do it really well.
Never mind. I don't like it here. I'm sorry.
Lexicon. Oh my. What is lexicon?
I don't know. It's like language. I didn't know what it meant either. The girl was like, because I was trying to target people who want to elevate and grow their business. And she was telling me to talk about like the 4 or 5 positioning strategies that people can use to grow their business. And she was saying luxury lexicon, because I was just saying
I love language. That. I don't even know what that means.
I know, me neither. And I was like, what my target audience and what that means.
I'm into it. Voodoo Val, thank you for reminding everybody in the chat. The challenge, the design feedback countdown is going, and the challenge is happening. And the creative challenge today, super interesting, is a food ordering app. Whoa. Inception. Design challenges overlapping with live stream. Some of the challenge, like, try out using the drag triggers, and maybe try creating your own icon. So we'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be
cool. A lot of food. And then the day before, yesterday, was the digital diet, different diet. So it was what were your most used, create an app that limits your most used apps. So it's kind of silly now. But it's great. It's great. So like when we talked about what was our most used apps, like Instagram and Twitter, and how we're like always on those.
Yeah, that's my main one. And YouTube, I do too much YouTube. Just going down the rabbit hole of videos.
Yeah, or Behance. I remember everyone threw out Behance as like a most used, which is like great, good.
Well, you're learning on there, and maybe that doesn't count.
Yeah.
It's educational.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at any leftover challenges from the digital diet and then today's food ordering. So you got about 28 minutes. Let's see them.
Yes. Let me get some good ones. And this screen, so now I'm down here on the tablet now. So it's kind of playing off the screen from up here. Wait, let me zoom out more faster. So it's like the similar white space with almost that marble-ish gray background. And then I'm doing the same thing here, but just with a different image because it works better for this space here. So we have our get cooking, and then we have a couple of calls to actions. I'm going to change that to white really quick, and then make that white too. And the buttons are kind of keeping a similar style because I like to keep a similar style if I'm designing different things, even if, like I said, if it's like a media kit or PowerPoint slides or just whatever else a client may need designed, so it all looks like it's from the same business because you don't want it to look like it's like two different businesses. Is this centered? This is kind of throwing me off. I guess that's centered enough. I may come back to that. So yeah, so we kind of have the basics there, and I kind of want to do this cursive.
Oh.
Yeah, I should have used it on the others. I'll probably go back up and
add
the other part
font.
too.
What is that font?
Bagenda script. Baginda.
I love it. Looks good. It's hard to find a good written font.
It is, yeah, because I usually do like excessive research on this to find one that I really like. Because some of them you can't understand what the letters are because I feel like people think they're cute, but I'm like, I can't read that.
Yeah. They're really, there's some hard legible ones to find, but when you find a good one, it's worth it.
Yeah, it definitely.
And then a lot of them are used a lot, you know.
And it'll add some visual interest and some emphasis for what you're doing.
Scanning for fonts. It's like the most, feels so good when you find the right font.
It does.
It's like one of the most fulfilling
things. Like a treasure hunt. I'm like
really
scrolling through fonts for like an hour.
Yeah, Colby last week gave us the, Adobe Fonts has, groups or like
those font packs, I think.
Font packs, and
where they have them paired already.
Yeah, to kind of just like get a vibe. But
yeah, those sound nice.
Yeah,
I need to check those out. See what kinds of shortcuts I can do. So for tip of the day, this would be, I guess, like a healthy related tip. I guess it wouldn't have to be a person.
Health related tip.
Yeah, like if the app was gonna pop up and be like, hey, don't eat those Doritos. I'm just kidding. We need that. I need something like that.
I need something like that.
Yeah.
So this is the iPad screen. And so you have an option for voice and browse, and then amongst it, they also have this like tip that pops up to remind you, because maybe they're using this in like the kitchen. Maybe they're right about to cook, right?
So maybe they want to just get a quick tip. I might end up using the white space, or even like a tip like this could pop up almost like during the day to, you know how these apps, I feel like they are trying to make you open your phone. We're talking about lessening the phone use, but then I'm putting features in here to make people open it.
We are designing for screens. You know, it is. We want to lessen it. How can you? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they want. That's what when Instagram is like. I do have my notifications off for Instagram because I don't want it popping up on my screen.
You.
I'm like, I'll just see it when
that.
I open the app again. Is that too much in
But
one?
this is different. This is get cooking. This is you're doing something while you're supposed to be looking at this. Maybe it's a recipe you're checking back and forth. Drink more water. Perfect.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it fill up the space
What
a bit.
about coffee? How do we feel about coffee?
Oh my
Drink
gosh.
less coffee? Drink
drink a
more
lot.
coffee. Drink all the coffee you could possibly find.
That's me. I'm
Me
like,
too.
I love my coffee because my dad is always like, you need to stop drinking your coffee. I'm like, okay.
You're like, I'm sorry. The only reason I'm like can talk to you right now is because there's coffee coursing through my veins.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It just helps. It's so helpful with my focus.
So we have some more app names or service names. I should say that
yeah,
properly. It's
name.
the what service is this called? It's called. We have some ideas. Get cooking,
Oh, I like
or
that.
maybe. Oh no, that's just. Oh no, that's the name. Reading. Where's some other ones?
Just get a random piece of lettuce, I guess.
How about like delish?
Oh, I like that. That's cute.
Maybe like one word, delish.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be cute in this font too.
Everyone share your name ideas. I think we're gonna start writing them down.
Yeah. And then we'll-
You know, if you're working on the challenge, you're probably in that zone thinking about food names, and it's perfect. It's lunchtime. Food.
Man, I need to call it. I know, the best time of the day.
Oh yeah. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? What's your favorite?
Oh my gosh, it's
If
so
you could only
hard.
pick one.
Oh, that's a tough decision, man. Which one? There's a lot of good things about breakfast.
It's so true.
And lunch and dinner. Sometimes I'll eat like random foods at random times of the day too. Or it's not even like on a right schedule, but or like breakfast food for dinner, or even sometimes dinner food during like.
Yes,
but
there is no wrong way to.
I don't know.
Mine's breakfast.
Yeah, I just like
I could
everything.
only have one of those
Yeah,
for the rest of my life. It's breakfast.
yeah, breakfast is good. It's just so many possibilities.
So we have Yummy Box.
Oh, that's
Yummy
cute.
Box. Delivered straight to your door.
Hmm.
Maybe. Say food triage.
Quick
Interesting.
bites. Oh, I like.
Quick bites.
That's a cool spelling. I'm like bad at that too. When people spell stuff with like Z's and stuff, I'm like,
So I'm gonna
cool.
say, yeah, okay, quick bites. Perfect. Okay, we got that one.
Food triage.
Food
He
triage.
sounds like my copywriter.
That's
Same
interesting.
person. The triage. Yes.
Just do eat breakfast for dinner. You know, if it was a delivery app for, not a lot of these food delivery services do just breakfast, right? Because it's usually for
I
dinner.
haven't seen breakfast. Yeah.
There's an idea.
Oh yeah, that's a good
That's a
idea.
good
That
idea.
could be a box that stands.
So like, who has time to make breakfast? It's a whole thing, but but I would make time. If I knew a delicious breakfast was coming to my house every morning.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was researching one of them, and they did 3 meals a day, but oh my god, it was so expensive though.
And it's a lot of food. You end up with a lot of
Yeah.
food. Just do eat. It's great. Just do eat.
Just do eat. Oh, cool. That's clever.
Good
I
food,
like
good
it.
mood.
Oh, I like that too. I am in a good mood after I eat, so that's good. That's a good one. Oh, it's so creative. All these good names here.
Everyday fest. I like that one.
Yay.
Foodie, just like foodie. That's a cute.
Oh, yeah, I
that's
like
cute.
that too.
That's cute.
Yeah, yeah, because it would appeal
really
to like
good example.
foodie type
Yeah.
people.
I'm writing all these down, and then Keshia will go over them at the end, and maybe you can pick 3, and
Yeah, we'll have to pick one.
you pick one.
I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with color panels today. Usually I mix these in more, but for some reason with this, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not.
This is the real creative process.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not feeling what I originally had.
Yeah, because it's like I like them for like my backgrounds behind these pictures and stuff, but for some reason for Like I might add something to tip of the day, maybe. Oh yeah, maybe I could do a picture for like tip of the day and then another fun picture for share the food. I think I'll do that.
Food Eval is going to do a straw poll. Do you want to just let all of these names kind of go out there and see what we can get?
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'd be awesome. Okay, everyone vote on your favorite name. Throw out some more ideas before Voodoo Val makes one.
And then with this clipping mask, this is what I like too about clipping masks too, because if you want to change the size up really quick, you can show a little more of an image without throwing it off too much. So maybe a similar, since I only have a few pictures saved, I guess for the, well, I'll do the lettuce, I guess, to make the tip of the day a little more visually interesting instead of just the plain lettuce and that's it.
How to make lettuce interesting. Adobe live stream.
Yeah.
You make your lettuce look good.
I know, we try. Give it some color and some polka dots and you're ready.
How long do you think it takes for you to kind of come up with like a visual style after you've kind of talked it through? Or maybe that's a part of it, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess, because I feel like after I kind of get the word direction, I guess, from the clients, then as far as me working through stuff myself, it takes a while, because once I know what words I'm going for, like if we're going for, I don't know, this professional vibe, like one client I have, she's like doing executive coaching, so we know we wanted to be appropriate for her to go in corporate and be taken seriously, so like professional. And once I know all those words and how they need to be positioned, I guess, or what they do, then I'll usually start with Pinterest research myself, and then do my own Pinterest research. Maybe start on a mood board for them. And typically with mood boarding, I do a lot of exchanging in there too to get the perfect compilation of pictures in the mood board that can. I'm slowly getting faster with that though, because I'm kind of getting a little bit better with mood boarding. But yeah, and then once I get that together, then even the layout on the pages, so it takes, I don't know, I would say maybe 2 to 3 hours maybe. Okay. Because I end up changing pictures out sometimes, like I'm doing now, like making split-second decisions, like, oh, I don't like that, let's change this. So.
It's a really good process. It's good to know how long it takes. Also, that's another part of like growing your own or selling yourself is like being able to take on what you know you can do.
Yeah, it takes time because you want to make sure it's all perfect. That's why I think sometimes with
2 hours, I think is a really good number. I know people that can toil for days.
Yeah,
over a design language and what they're trying to get across. But it sounds like you start with the words.
I do, because I start with like where I know the direction is going for the client and what they need to look like, I guess, visually for their business type online. So that's how I kind of get the start. And then I start to think like what symbols could represent these words or what types of images represent these words and doing the research that way. So that helps a lot because I have more direction. This is 15. That's also 15, okay. So
So we're at 16 minutes till design feedback.
Oops.
Can't wait to give you some design feedback. We'll also have some business tips.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do it all. We'll do it all, and it's 15 minutes, so everyone get those designs in.
This next one.
Very cool. And everyone go vote on a name. Looks like we got a poll going. Go vote. Very cool.
So for the share image, super quick, just trying to me, it's gonna kind of balance it out a bit with another picture in there on the app piece. And then okay, do my clipping mask again.
We went over a little bit yesterday, like what is good design?
Yes.
And I think your answer was communication. It's able to communicate.
Yeah, that's communicating, I guess, the right message about the person's company and how it should be perceived on the market and what makes them different too with what they do. Because a lot of times I think people, they don't even stop and think about like what makes my business different from other people who do the same thing as I do. So you can kind of communicate that a little bit through design.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I had one client who was a coach, but her coaching, she described it as magical and like was talking about mermaids and stuff. I'm like, that's really, really random. But
it's like it's one thing for what they think, and then another how you can like help them project it
and kind of communicate. Because we ended up having like some ocean coral stuff elements in her design. After we talked about that, because I was like, I wouldn't have came up with that if she wouldn't have used that language when she was talking to me about it. So even though it sounded random, it's like you can kind of find ways to put it into somebody's design to make it interesting. Yeah, so it was really unique. I know somebody went on her coaching website versus like another coach, they would be like, wow, this is cool. But
it's different. Makes that person stand out. So many ways to design for so many different people.
Different people's personalities, because it may be 1,000 coaches out there, but nobody's talking about it in that way.
Yeah, you're doing the kind of the work that needs to be done, really reaching out to different people, because everybody needs a presence if they have a business.
They do, yes.
And so many, I'm sure we've all seen the site that's like, oh boy, the site needs help.
I know, oh my gosh, yes.
And so you're really working with a lot of these types of people who are like, how can I position myself in a way that I've never done before?
Yeah.
Never even thought about. And so sounds like you're having to do a little bit of education also up front.
You definitely do with clients, to let them know like, hey, this is actually a valuable business investment for you that'll really help you if you want to get high caliber clients and stuff. You have to make sure your look is on point to attract the right people, for sure. So I guess
let me check on this. Check on this poll we got going. What should we name the app or service? So it's up here: Zippy Food Delivery, Food Guru, Fresh Eats, Foodie. Oh, what am I gonna vote on?
Oh wow, they put that together quick.
Quick box. How about I'll write in your vote. What's your vote here?
What vote? I like Foodie. That's cute to me.
Because it's like we're gonna go with I'm gonna write in the designer's preference. So let's see how it stacks up. Oh, Yummy Box.
Oh, they picked Yummy Box. Yeah, that's cute too.
It's cute. It's cute.
Yeah, so many good ones. It's hard to name things. I'm glad to have
I'll come back and refresh these results in a little bit. I'll let everyone keep voting. We'll see where it gets.
Yes.
Awesome.
A lot of creativity there.
So do you get to prototype your designs often, or because you're showing it to different types of client, different clientele that needs to see like a working prototype, right? They just kind of probably just want to see the actually overall. But do you get to prototype a little bit?
I don't do much. Usually with them, I'll just prototype their homepage and just show them that, so they can kind of see like this is the direction we're going for the design, and then there won't be like surprises once we get on the real website, because I'm not doing all those revisions to a real.
Right.
It's like I'll do a few. I've limited now to like I have in my contract 5 minor revisions to your site. So that's why I like to prototype at least the home page, and then I'll be like, okay, so you can expect the rest of your site to take on this same type of look. So no surprises there. So yeah.
Communicating is key.
And just setting expectations up front too, because that's what, I guess as a new freelancer, you may be getting caught up in those endless revision cycles with certain people. But once you see how that can happen, then you put parameters in place or just boundaries and stuff in your contract so you don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. Or if you do, you charge them extra for it. Be like, well, if you do want me to go back and change the button color and
if you really need the button color to be different,
all these things
I
you
will
just
go
came
back
up with on the fly,
it.
then I'll change it, but I'll charge you this too.
Yep. This is a live stream about knowing your worth.
Yeah.
We are here to remind you you're worth it.
Definitely. Just making up some quick ingredients really quick.
Kristen brings up a good point. As a business owner, you need to factor in your marketing and branding. Otherwise, they don't seem like they're serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing, you know. Everyone's online now. This is how a lot of people get information about what you do, what you can do for them.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's so competitive online now too. If your online presence looks kind of bad, there's so many other people that do the same stuff. So it's like, why would they want to use somebody that looks like an amateur kind of, instead of when they can go to somebody else that looks like they really know what they're doing.
Joe's letting us know there's a lot of underserved areas in the not-for-profit or the NGOs. There's a lot. So just if you need some practice, go contact a nonprofit. Go contact a coffee shop you love that you hate, but you hate their website, and see if you could do some practice work for them, or maybe work out. We were talking about like Squarespace and like WYSIWYG. So what you see is what you get type websites to be used for some clients when you do freelance work, because it's easier for clients to access the back end.
Exactly.
So, you know, these are the conversations to have and to think about.
Yeah,
and you yourself use a Squarespace.
Yeah, I use Squarespace. Occasionally I'll use WordPress, but now I'm to the point where WordPress is such a time suck where I'll if somebody really wants it, I'll just tell them it's like an extra $1,000. Because it really takes that long. It's like not even, it doesn't make sense. Because after I did one of my clients, she wanted 2 sites done in WordPress. So it wasn't too bad, but it was just such a time thing just to do the same customizations. Because I customize my Squarespace sites. So they're not like the basic templates. So I'm like, I could have did all this customization inside of Squarespace in like half the time.
Do you have a lot of hands-on after you kind of hand it off, or do your customers usually, or your businesses you work with really are all in and they have full access and you've kind of stopped?
Yeah, so they're pretty self-sufficient for the most part. Every now and then there'll be something that they feel like they need some help with afterwards, but for the most part, they're pretty much okay. And then I know the lady whose WordPress I just finished, I know for her, when she needs changes, I'm going to have to do it.
I see. So you
with
know
the way
you're
it's
probably...
set up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but on Squarespace, it's because, it kind of ends up being a money-saving thing for them, because then if they have to keep coming back to you and you're charging them every time to make these changes.
Exactly, yep.
So, yeah, because I know.
This is real. Not everyone has giant, enormous teams that they can keep their website up with, you know. Sometimes it's just the actual baker at the bakery going back in and changing a header on a website, or maybe there's an event happening they need people to know about, and what tool can you give them? So I'm really glad you're talking about that, because it's
something easier.
Everyone needs good design, and it's not always glamorous, and it's sometimes a big part of it's educating people about how to do that.
Exactly.
Oh, we have 6 minutes left till design challenge. Wow, that time is just creeping up. So we'll check out whoever's there, and then we'll come back to Keshia and we'll wrap up.
So I'm trying to do here. I kind of skipped filling in the tablet piece because I wanted to do some prototyping really quick. So for this voice, I'm gonna connect it to the pasta. So I'm going to do trigger, I'll put voice, because in Adobe XD you can do voice command here. So a voice command, I'll say cook pesto pasta. And it should hopefully work. Voice. I guess that's all you do, I think. Action transition. So yeah, I guess we could test this super quick. I forget how you
select the artboard, yeah.
Just click play, I think.
Oh.
My computer always thinks
interesting.
I'm playing a game.
XD's prototyping play button on a Windows. I've not seen this.
My computer always takes a minute. Oh shoot! Oh, where do we go?
Uh-oh.
XD closed. Wait, where do we go?
XD closed. Other advice? And I'm sure you did it. Saving.
Yeah, hopefully it's saved. Well, I know I saved most of it. See, that's why I save.
That's why I save everybody, whoever's
I was
working
doing
right
yesterday.
now. If you're working right now, save your work. Just go. Go. Save the work. I'm sure they saved them. Nice. Okay, let's see how that poll's going real quick. Let's also find that poll real quick. Here we go. Let's refresh it.
No, it looks like the
Okay.
Yummy Box is winning.
Yummy Box is winning, guys. It's happening.
Yeah,
Yummy Box. Foodie.
it's gonna
Foodie
be.
came up. Foodie came up in the ranks. Okay,
Yeah.
so now we know. Okay, we got 4 minutes. Everyone get those design challenges in.
Okay,
We'll
we're
look
good.
at 'em.
The
We're
work still
excited.
exists.
Oh, good. It's still there.
I don't know if the prototyping piece is still in here. Let's see. Yeah, that part, I need to connect the lines again. So I was over here in XD on your prototyping tab. You can connect like your buttons to stuff. If it'll let me click on it.
Oh, I think
Wait,
it's
is it
still connected.
I'm so confused. It's still there?
Thanks, XD, for keeping the work safe.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay,
So now we know if XD crashes, it keeps the prototyping links. Perfect. Good to know.
Yeah, it is good to know. So let's see if this...
And we're
I don't
using the
think that's
voice.
saved. Or did it?
Oh,
it did
pesto
save.
pasta. Oh, nice. Nice.
Because I think the way this works, I haven't used it in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. So I'm going to try to press play again and see will it work. What does this one do? This mobile
That is a mobile preview, so if anybody else wants to know, so that actually can go onto whatever device your screen size is. Actually, any device. If you save it in the cloud, you can access it. There's an Adobe app that you can access, and it'll do it remotely, or you can tether it to your actual machine. It's a really cool feature. So when you can like just give it to somebody and like watch them use it. Since you're doing mostly websites and you can see them on a computer, so it's all good. But if you're doing apps, or you could use the iPad, you can like tether it to an iPad. It's very cool.
Oh, very nice.
So let's see, we are here at favorites.
Oh, I think I have to have the internet to do voice.
I
but it's
see.
Okay.
All right, well, you know, maybe we can get, we'll see a
can
miniature
browse.
version. There you go.
Our browse. It's kind of showing our app in action on pesto pasta. There we go.
Nice.
It looks kind of plain for now, but I forgot to go back. I could have prototyped that too.
Yeah. Well, you could prototype. You'll continue to work on it while we're doing the feedback as well. And then we'll come back and wrap up with you right after. Maybe you can give us a little, some info on how you kind of wrap up projects.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
That'd be great. And then we can finally decide on this name, right, people? I'm just gonna go with foodie too.
Oh, that worked. Okay. Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
And
Yummy
what
Box
you guys-
looks like so it's up to you, obviously. You are the key holder here. Yummy Box, Foodie, and Zip Food Delivery are the top three.
Well, we got 5. Well, I'll go with Yummy Box then.
Wow, she's going with Yummy Box. We did
Yay.
it. Good job, chat. Everyone worked together.
Yeah. Kind of makes me want to
Nice.
think of like a box symbol with the word yummy or something. I see somebody they have a little face on the box. Is their idea.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, there's a food truck called Yummy Box Food. Oh, that's cute. Because I guess a food truck is almost a box. That's good.
I love that.
Yay,
There you go,
perfect.
Yummy
We got
Box.
Yummy Box here.
Woo! Good job, everyone.
So what I'll probably do, I can put this together super quick in Photoshop and make a little makeshift fast logo.
Whoa, how fast can you make a logo?
It's going to be super basic. Wait, I want it to be green though.
Okay, 12 seconds, 11 seconds. I have a feeling we're going to be looking at a lot of apps from yesterday's challenge, which had to do with your consuming different apps. Let's take a look at it really quick, just to refresh our memories. So it was digital diet. I'm not seeing a lot from food ordering. I will take a look again. But these are the two we're going to be looking at, the digital diet and the food ordering challenge. So both around diets. One is only having to do with actual food. So let's take a look at some, shall we? I have one pulled up. This looks like it's digital diet. Here we go. So
It's nice and clean.
yeah, I love it. Great interaction there. So you enter your phone number. Here we go. Social, productivity, streaming. That's a great way to chunk those out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have your social apps, you have your productivity apps, you have your streaming apps. So it's not one specific app, but maybe it breaks it down. There you go. Great. Next screen was breaking it down. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram.
I was like warning you, yeah, because I feel like when you see those numbers in real life, you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I like that this designer starts with saying like, this is generally what you're spending time on, and now like we're really, you spent 3 hours on this. So that's pretty cool. I'm interested in this, I love that, you know, sometimes data can be overwhelming. I think you did a pretty good job with kind of presenting it to us. I think there's some you know, I'm not really sure exactly what these are. Maybe it's just different views. There's probably different views here, but like this being the most highlighted icon, not sure what it means, but obviously like it's all good. So maybe that would be oh, well, there you go. Now I know what it means. Cool. That's great. Look at that little interactional slider. So this
cool.
is
you can see 24
one
hours,
day,
7 days.
a whole week.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
So that icon was like the most used.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's really nice.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
I really like it. Really like it is. It's so hard to showcase data, and this one is pretty. I really love how you break it down.
Yeah, it's like digestible for
Very digestible. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, and this little tab you can pull out. That's interesting. I like that. And the most uses YouTube. Same as you.
I know that's me. I'm like always on there. So many.
Oh, look at that! And you
videos.
even have a little hamburger menu that kind of pulls out from the side. Really cool.
Nice.
Really interesting
entryway,
transitions.
yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Very cool. You can log out. Love that. That's fun. Great work. Great work. So that was digital diets. Let's jump into, so it's another digital diets. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Let's go, so it doesn't go too fast. Let's go from the start. Screen reducer. So it's just like an overall view. It's a great way to kind of showcase it, having like really large.
Yeah, like your pie chart.
A pie chart, exactly. Again, data can be overwhelming. These are great examples of just like trying to break it down in a more digestible form. It helps that Netflix is red, because red is what I'm going to first, and it's the most used. But I can kind of see where you're coming from. You're taking from maybe red, green, yellow. I see. It's like a stoplight. Maybe because Netflix is the most, it's the one you need to stop using the most.
Maybe so.
I see it.
It looks good. I like I guess the yellow one, we don't see what that represents, but
Yeah,
we'll
maybe
probably just
total
make shift.
screen.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, that pop-up is cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, so it has like the frowning face on,
I
like
like
you need to stop.
Yeah, it reminds me of what my teacher used to do in like second grade. Like when you were good, you had a green smiley face. When you were bad, you had a sad red stop smiley face. I like it. It's simple, it's easy to understand. Great.
Very nice. Nice work.
Great work. All right, let's come over here. Here's another one. Ooh, purple. Lots of purple. Let's go back so we can see it. So we got screen time last week. Oh, we got it down to this 5 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours. Very realistic times, I'm sure. So we got last week and today. Okay. I see that. I like it. I like this, it's a very simple kind of sliding increased usage. It's a little small, this usage kind of meter.
Yeah.
It's minimal. I can see like the minimal, but you have some really big lines everywhere else. Really like, so maybe increase that would fit your theme. Kind of like this chunky style, rounded corners, and then maybe your actual graph. maybe it's a little hard to read. I think it's a little hard to read. So playing with the colors on that, something a little more. Let's see it change again. I could barely see it change. Okay, it's such a slight, so subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's increase the color. I don't know which one, but play with that for sure.
Maybe those 2 purple shades.
Yeah, 2 purple shades, too close together. So far, I love it. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that one? This one specifically?
It looks good. I like the meters, like how they have them divided up so you can see which app is, I guess, your highest usage to the lowest. That's an easy way to look at it.
Yeah,
so.
that's great. That's great. Cool. Great job using the actual, the transition from this week to having just like the graph shift from this week to, or this day to next week or a full week. It's a good way to play with that. Let's see, anyone else in here? A little more. Here we go. We haven't seen this one. Technically. Forgive me if there was another part of this. This is this one I grabbed first. Cool. So Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. The top 3 contenders of screen time. Okay, so maybe there's a little week. Yeah, so maybe there's a little bit more up here that we're not seeing, but it's all work in progress, obviously. What are your thoughts on this one?
Definitely a great start for sure. And I like the days of the week too, so you can kind of see like trending by what days, along with the trending by the apps too. So good way to break down the info.
How do you feel about the gradient coming through on those bars?
I like those. Maybe they kind of add a little visual interest to it.
Like what's at the top when you hit the peak? Like what?
Yeah.
It's getting. I almost feel like the color should be shifted because like the peak usage is like
I guess there's
wouldn't be a negative for most to use, and the red makes me feel like it's like
my warning, like red.
Exactly. White is like you want to do all this. And so I like it. Good work. Who else is in here? Let's do a refresh really quick before I go too high up. How do you feel about? Do you guys like these challenges? I really like the prompts a lot. Like if I had a minute of spare time, I would love to do some of these challenges. Alrighty, weekly report.
Oh, that's cool.
WhatsApp.
Last week, 24 hours.
Last week, 24 hours. Cool transition. Let's see. Oh, and then you can X out. Okay. So it's like the full day where you spend your time. Wow, you're spending a lot of time. So right off the bat, we have some spacing issues with the pie chart.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little,
totally
few little tiny gaps.
Yeah, some gaps here. Totally fix that. I understand like the representation of colors and associated with some of these apps. I think this Twitter, maybe it's Twitter is that color. So maybe just fleshing that out a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know if you're taking, because Facebook's like red but not blue. So maybe playing with your colors a little bit more to kind of make it a little easily understood.
Yeah, definitely.
From your pie chart to the actual like time spent. We can understand what you're going for though.
Yeah.
Another 2 options of showcasing time spent. Okay, and then we have individual reports. Cool. Okay. I see. So there's the transition. Last week, last 24 hours. Breaking it down. Okay. Again with some sizing issues. A little crowded here.
Oh yeah.
A little claustrophobic. Yeah, really try to use some of that screen real estate. You can for this, because essentially this is an overlay, right? You want to just kind of narrow in on this one app.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But I can see what you're trying to do, kind of like an at a glance, but you're getting a little, maybe think through this space right here a little bit more.
Yeah, because the days of the week looks good, but then the hours looks kind of crowded, like you said.
Yeah. Man. So much time spent on these things, on these phones of ours, right? Like, I'm sure all of these numbers are, like, also, like, very accurate. You know what I mean? Like, 5 hours spent on Instagram. Like, I'm sure that exists. I'm so sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. Once we actually see the data behind it, I'm like, oh, my God, I need to put that thing down.
So we are, let's see if there's any more of you guys. If you guys want to send any more creative challenges, great job. You know, I'm excited for you guys to work on the one that you got today, the digital diet. I'm sorry, this is digital diet, was yesterday. Today's was
today's
food
was the
ordering.
food order. Yeah.
Cool. And remember, guys, you know, they unlock as the days go on. And if you want, just go back and do some past week's challenges. If you're new to the chat, if you're new to the community, you know, these are some great prompts to get started.
Good
job, you guys. This was good. Yay. This was good. You guys are really getting savvy with the prototyping tool.
Yeah, like really talented there.
Yeah, awesome.
To put those together so quick too.
Yeah, so we get to see kind of this finished wrap up with your project.
Yeah. So I did a super fast, so it's not the best, but just did a fast yummy box.
Ooh,
right there. So we have yummy and then box there. So we can look. So I put some green since the green is like that fresh food color. So yeah, it'll kind of pop out a bit against the black and the bars. So we can check out a prototype, I guess, really quick.
Yeah.
I'll hit play. My computer always thinks I want to play a game.
Interesting.
It's not a game. Okay.
This is not a game.
No. So there we go. Our Yummy Box
Wow.
homepage. And then I'll come back up and click. And then why our meal kits. And then how it works with our little vegetables there. And our little call to actions ain't a loop. We got Yummy Box again in the footer to make it really official. So let's say we want to order, so I'll click on order now. I didn't get to put a cool transition on there. I know in XD you can do those transitions where you get the screen slide up and all that, but yeah, for time's sake, we just did a quick one. So now we see our menu here with all the fun colors
cool.
around
And they look great. I love those assets behind each photo.
Yeah, they came out cute.
They came out cute.
And then if you skip the week, and then if we select meals, so I'm gonna act like we selected 3, and it takes us to our checkout. So our order is on the way for free because we're rich and we just got free food coming.
Ooh, yeah.
Without putting our credit card in. So, so food on the way, and then we got the refer now prompt, and I have the Yummy Box again.
Refer now, a great tool to use to get people to come back.
Oh, she loves it. Oh, thank you.
Love the logo. Yummy Box and a box.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better with my symbolism now because I see people do all that. I'm like, how can I incorporate more symbols in my
right
in my work?
I remember last week, Colby, he threw together a logo just like you did because he didn't get the name towards the end.
Yeah.
And just like a simple like image, you found like a simple like little asset, and he just like
and that can be a logo too.
It's just playing with one of my favorite places to get started with logo making is this place called the Noun Project online. Or type it in. It's great. It's just type in a word and all these different icons kind of come up, and it's a good way to just kind of have quick visualization.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can come up with some cool like original ideas with those nice images too. So this is our app, our mobile app. If we have a few minutes, I can fill in the tablet piece at the end because I didn't get to the tablet, but it would look similar.
Yeah.
So if voice is, since my internet isn't connected, so I was going to test voice, but without the internet I can't. But if it was, then we could just say show pesto pasta and it would take us to that. But we can do the other way. We can do browse. We got our tip of the day with some nice freshness lettuce there.
Nice.
Share the food with somebody holding a plate. I'm like, well, she looks like she's about to share.
Use that imagery.
Start on the next order. So I'll just click browse to show our next screen.
Well, that's great. So
So
see
this
how
is
the
almost
images
like
have enlarged now. They're on a smaller screen.
So it's like a nice catalog there. And I link that too. So if you want to go back, it'll take us back. But I'll go back to browse. We got pesto pasta. This is the one I made the details for, even though it's super basic. I would like put some stars or something in here if it was like a real app. I could go back and add those. But I just was keeping it short. But
Nice.
and then to go back, we got here, and then even you can also use like a symbol there for go back to, like a nice arrow symbol. I just didn't create an arrow, but
Looks great.
yeah, thanks.
So clean. Love your style.
Oh, thank you.
So it happens when you really think through kind of what you want your work to look like at the end.
Yeah, what actions you want people to take as they look at it. That's my top stuff. It's like making sure the actions are clear, it's easy to navigate, and all of that. I guess I'll make a couple of stars real quick.
Where does this usually end with you and presenting it to a client?
So at the end, I give them, after the final, well, I've changed my payments up now, but once everything is finalized, then I send their final files over, and then I give them access to their website in Squarespace, and then I do a training session with them to show them how to update the site on their own. Because I really don't enjoy updates. I know that's bad, but it almost feels secretary-ish when people are like, "Can you change my picture?" And I'm like, Already after you've gone, I like the full, like, strategizing and concepting process more so than just like changing pictures or something small later. So I do a training with them at the end to tell them where everything is laid out, and I share my screen so they can see this is where your home page is, this is where your about page, this is how the images are in there, you can change it like that. And so that way they know what to do. And then I have a little client portal space. It's kind of like, some of them are pulled tutorials from Squarespace, and some of them I typed out if I didn't see one on Squarespace for it. So they have access to that too with extra tutorials. So yeah, we pretty much wrap it up there, send the final files. Then this is a good tip too, if you want more people to see your work, give them a promo image to promote their new website.
And then can you show us, and can we pull up an example of that?
Yeah, I'll show one. Okay. My client with the, what was it, the coralish kind of feel to hers. Hers came out really, really good. But
so like a promo image for like social media as well.
Yeah, so they can share their site, and then I ask them to tag me on it, so in case people see it, because she actually found me through a previous client who tagged me on her stuff. So yeah, so that's how she even found me in the first place. But this was for her, so she did a great job with her brand shoot.
I love that,
because I helped her with coming up with the colors. I made those too, but this was the main thing. And then for coming soon, I made a couple of images for her to kind of start promoting herself.
That's great. That's a great tip.
That's an opt-in that she has for her email list. So I had that. And then I made that for her to kind of get a little bit of hype going around it. So yeah. So
I see. So it's like there's about to be a shift. You're working on strategy. You're working on a little bit of marketing for them. You're definitely redesigning a lot of things.
Yeah, because this was her old site. I kept a screenshot. I didn't do this.
Right. So and so many of us have seen like sites kind of like that, which you know.
And so now the new one is like totally redone.
So you kind of built hype around the whole revamp. It's a great tip. It's a great tip for freelancers out there.
Yeah.
Little extra promo images.
Yeah, and clients like that too, because then they want to get their audience to find out like, oh, they're coming up with a new website soon. Yeah. So here's her full
and what a way to showcase like your work as well. You know, like
it is.
Wow.
So then this is her new homepage compared to that other the other homepage literally cut off with that tiny image that I just showed you. And it was hard for you to even figure out what she was selling and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, what does she sell? Like, I can't find it. So this is Adobe stock actually I filled in with her podcast cover.
Nice.
That I made for her.
Nice.
So this ended up turning out good. I think I got this from Adobe stock too. Nice. And then this was a brown background because I'm extra as a designer. I made it white.
It is totally fine.
It's like that dark brown
Being
wood.
extra is the whole point of the work.
Yeah.
I don't know, single designers are not just a little bit extra. It needs to happen. Gotta be.
Yeah. It's like
awesome.
That dark brown.
So recap, you've decided for three screens.
And then I didn't get to fill in the tablet piece, but I did fill in the mobile app at least. So the mobile app, the tablet would have the same flow as the mobile app. Mainly 3.
And you can see the differences between the mobile experience versus the web.
And then how they complement, and they still complement each other well. So you can tell they're like the same. Oops.
Do you think you're gonna post these somewhere?
Yeah, I can post them on my Behance. Yeah, they'll look good in there because
you can check them out on her Behance.
Yeah, so that way you can check them out and see the look we came up with here. And then all of these were free stock images out there. So
Free stock, a lot of Adobe stock.
yeah. So yeah, so you got
yeah.
a nice look.
Awesome. So these will be up on her Behance. Awesome.
So I could pop some stars in there. I guess my last final thing, I guess put some stars for my
wrapping
reviews.
it up. That's great. You can easily add some stars.
Do I have stars in here in this symbols catalog? I forget. I thought that was one. It's like a sheriff's bow. Oh, there's one. Oops.
I'm gonna introduce you to some Adobe plugins after this.
I know. I just want to put like a series of 5 right quick. I wonder what color should they be, like gold, or do they have to be gold? I don't know.
Nice. Well, make sure to follow Keshia White on Instagram.
Yes.
Get to know her.
Yes, it's at Keshia, Keshia, and then M like Michelle, and then White, like the color white, White.
Yeah.
So super easy to spell.
Or check her
Well,
on Behance. Or check her on Behance, or check out her UI kits available specifically for XD. So you can design along with her and try your own hand at like resizing and trying and playing with your style, your visual style, which is super distinct. Thank you so much, chat, for giving us some ideas for names. Hopefully you guys keep doing those challenges.
Yeah. It was a great practice. I know I need to do some of those myself.
See? Look at that. Always learning.
Free time.
Always learning. But thank you again, you guys, for tuning in. We hope to see you soon at Adobe Live. This was great having you. We're going to miss you.
It was wonderful to be here. I enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody, for your participation in the chat. It was great to see that.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
See you later.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Night.